Hello there, it's early springtime here in the UK and I'm just about to do some tidying up of the surface of one of our Japanese maple pots. There's quite a lot of insects, little black flies I've noticed. Possibly two types of little flies I can see. There's another one there on the wall of the pot there, slightly different. Now I can't say I've seen this before, so I'm just going to take out some of these dried leaves and some of the surface bark, and I've got a bucket ready just to throw the rubbish in. So I'll do this as quick as I can for the time in the video. So basically it's just a little bit of spring maintenance, a little bit of spring cleaning. Now the tree was ready for a little spray of bug clear, so that should, if I spray the top of the compost, just a little very fine mist, that should help sort this fly problem out here. Obviously if you dig in it just a little bit, just to check. Like I say, these flies just must feed or breed on the surface of the compost. So that's all the leaves taken out. Next step is to show you the tools. Basically I've got some pruning scissors which have been sterilised and washed and dried. That's just to prune off any roots that are coming through the surface and growing upwards, or any little fibre roots on the base of the trunk. A pencil sometimes just to get into some of those roots very gently, just to remove some of the moss. I believe this is a horse shoe cleaner, scraper. This is very handy for getting in just the surface of the compost, just to rake it up a little bit, but not too much because you don't want to damage the roots under the surface. And a soft, clean, dry toothbrush, that's just for cleaning the base of the trunk, and a brush just for the pot, that's just a wallpaper sweeping an old decorating brush. So basically all I'd be doing is removing, without scratching the roots, some of that moss. And as you can see, the moss gets in there on the root, and you either go in with your pencil carefully, just to pull it out a bit. Again, try not to scratch your roots so you don't get any infection in there. Or you can use the other end, which is a bit safer, just to scrape that little bit out there. And as you can see, there's a little bit of root there, so we just come along with our scissors. Won't hard to take that off. We've got a couple of old roots here, so I'm just going to come in that way and remove that. Throw that away. So basically you just do all around there to remove all the moss. Sometimes your toothbrush, helps just to give the bottom a clean, because sometimes during the winter, the rain, and it gets quite dirty, the base of the root. So it doesn't hurt, excuse me, to give a little bit of a brush. And also it's good at removing the moss as well. So you can always try with the brush first for the moss, because it's a lot softer than trying the pencil or the scraper. And as you can see, it comes off very easy. So and it gets in fairly easy as well. Like I say, I'm just going to show you the basics here and do a little bit of a neater job once I put the camera down. So as you can see, it's very clean there now. Just remove any surface bits. And as you can see, check for your root flare. This is the base of the trunk, and the major roots flare out to the side there. Now you can have these exposed which is healthier for the tree. A lot of trees that you buy are underplanted, which means they're planted too deep in the compost, which can be several inches sometimes, and in time it will cause problems for the tree or the failure of the tree as well. So next time you come to repot, check your level, that you've got a nice root flare here above the compost. Sometimes if it's too deep, you will have to cut away the top layer of the compost to expose the root flare. But obviously just do that when it's repotting. Early spring at this point in time, mid-March, ideal time to repot and check this level here. Okay, so it's just clean your pot surface, get your sweep brush, clean the inside and the top of your pot and the outside and the underneath as well, if you can manage, just to get that brush underneath the pot and remove any bugs or anything that might accumulate there. And that's about it really. All you have to do once it's all clean, you're happy with it, you can put a very fine layer of compost back on to replace what you've took. But remember, you don't want to be covering this too much. You want to keep it low so the root flare can basically breathe. All that's left after I've finished later is just to put my little bits of plastic gutter mesh on the surface to cover the compost. Now this has two jobs basically. Here in our garden in the spring and the summer, the blackbirds dig in the compost and they can damage the roots a little bit because it can dig quite deep. So it's just keep the blackbirds off, and also when I water it takes some of the pressure of the spray, so it's not disturbing the soil too much. It sort of takes some of that force out of the spray, and it seems nicer when I hose it. But that's basically about it. Okay, I hope that helps. Bye for now. Enjoy your garden.